to the Cinementalists. Noun, plural. Definition, those whose love for movies runs so deep, they can't help but do a podcast about them. Hosted by Colton Robertson and Joseph George. Hello everybody and welcome in to the Cinementalists. Today we continue our series of live commentaries on Star Wars, and this week brings us to the second installment in the franchise, The Empire Strikes Back. It was released on June 18th, 1980, with a screenplay by Lawrence Kasdan and Leigh Brackett, with a story by George Lucas, and directed by Irvin Kershner. I'm Colton Robertson. I'm joined by Joseph George. What's up, homie?
Oh, what up, what up? Always a pleasure to be here.
Oh, and it is always a pleasure to have you. And for those not in the know, for those who have not done this with us before, we're doing a live commentary of Empire Strikes Back. We've both got it pulled up on Disney Plus right now. We've got the little cursor pushed all the way back to 000. I'm going to count us in, and I'm going to do a 3, 2, 1, punch it. And on punch it, we're going to press play. In the vein of, Han Solo and Chewbacca taking off and the Falcon punch it to hyperspace, da-da-da-da. You get it.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, I'm ready to talk the greatest Star Wars film of all time. Are you with me, brother?
Oh, man. Yeah, long awaited to get back to this and actually look at it under my movie lens that I can now. The movie watcher
How long has
I
it
am,
been
so.
since you... Yeah,
sheesh. I don't know. I mean, I would say at least half a year, like at least 6 months, that's kind of a long time without just going through the entirety of every trilogy for me.
Right.
So yeah, it's been a while.
Been a little bit. Well then, let's go ahead and get into it. I'm going to count us in. If you're at home listening, we would highly invite you to go ahead and open Disney Plus with us and go ahead and press play. If you're not, if you're driving, if you're just listening, no big deal. We should have enough conversation, be fruitful enough to where you don't have to watch the movie. But if you're watching the movie, it's just going to help you a little bit. So if you are ready, my friend, I will count us on in and we can take off.
Mm-hmm. Oh, I'm ready.
All right. The countdown is coming. 3, 2, 1, punch it. We out. Mm-hmm. Yeah, last time I watched Empire, it hasn't been that long. Empire's one I pretty routinely come back to. I'm not even sure this will be my first watch this year. Let me check. It might be. It will be my first watch this year. I actually haven't watched this since September of 2023.
Man, then yeah, maybe it is longer for me than I'm actually remembering. I mean, it could be more than a year, which is crazy to think, but...
Holy shit. I almost watched it to the day.
No way.
A year ago from when this episode's releasing.
No way.
So,
that's kind of nuts.
That's pretty cool. Yeah.
Okay.
I've always loved the crawl for this one. Because after the end of the first one, where we're riding high, it's got to recontextualize things. It's got to get us back down to the dumps. The conflict has to reintegrate itself, and to know that after the Death Star's destruction, the Empire went hard. They went they tried to find anywhere they can rebels and signs of rebellion, and not just have a Vader.
Yeah, sadly, it wasn't their only plan. It wasn't all the eggs they had in their basket.
Right.
They had more in their bag. They
had more plans, like another fucking Death Star. So that's fun. But
another one.
No.
Yeah,
I do love that Vader grew obsessed with finding Luke after the first one. Like there was something he sensed through the Force that they never make clear. In the first one, but like I love that they established that from the crawl. Vader wants to find the young Skywalker who destroyed the Death Star. Like that's a cool conflict to set up. Gosh,
man,
it's
good
cool
old miniature. That's just it boggles my mind that's a real
the details
built thing, but
the details insane. Yeah, there's just something about the scale of this shit, man. And we're about to enter one of the One of the places when I was a child, I didn't love going in these movies. I did not love Hoth.
Nightmare fuel.
Nightmare fuel on Hoth. I've grown to appreciate it a great deal. But when I was younger, man, I mean, not just the abominable snowman and stuff that pops up before long, the Wampa, but this motherfucker.
Yeah.
This probe droid.
You know, the eerie. Yeah, I mean, who knows what it actually does whenever it gets to you, you know? They never really show what they do, and it just makes them even creepier. I just don't know what all their tentacle arms are like for. They seem to just be kind of recon droids at the end of the day, but
yeah, they fire a little blast or something. You know, you see that with like Jedi Fallen Order and stuff. Whenever you have to deflect the bolts back at them.
Okay. Yeah. Oh, yeah. Okay. True.
But beyond that, nothing too serious. Yeah, I've always loved the behind the scenes story for some of Hoth. Like where they were shooting, they actually got snowed in for some of their shots to their hotel. So they just set up a camera in the doorway of the hotel and shot straight out the front door.
No way. Wow.
Yeah, because it was that fucking terrible outside.
Dang. Yeah.
I mean, nothing here. This is too grand. This is too big a scale. But there are shots where that will be apparent. This motherfucker used to scare the shit out of me when I was a kid, man. And I hated I hated how easily he killed the Tauntaun, you know? Like, he just ended that motherfucker.
That's true.
Always made me sad.
And why... I mean, the likelihood of me running into a monster like this surely is near zero, if not absolute zero. But it was a fear that I just had. It was... Yeah, I was going to run into one of those things. But...
This is one of my favorite Han looks. I love his Hoth design. And I love Echo Base. I love the base on Hoth. I think that everything here, it's just so elevated compared to the first one. You know, like I liked Yavin 4 a lot. I love the interior, but it was all dark. You couldn't really see it. This, they were like, let's show off a little bit. We got some money in the bank. Let's take advantage. But yeah, that fur-lined coat he rocks in this, I think it's so clean.
Yeah, what is the do you know the budget increase that they got for Empire?
Not off the top of my head, no.
Yeah, I wonder how much more they were given after the first one. But I mean, it is pretty clear that like the sets, they still care about like every little detail, but it is just polished. It's polished a little more. It does look, it just does look cleaner. I don't know,
not clean, but like there's a tangible quality to it that I can't really articulate. Like I love this room. I've always loved the glowing maps and the way the light reflects off of people or shines off of people. I think it's beautiful. I love the way they're lit. This shot of Leia looking back at him, I've always adored it. And we're obviously about to actually take this story to the places it's supposed to go between them. They had the tension, but now it's time to execute. And I love the dynamic they have here. You know, Han's just going to leave, and Leia has every opportunity to let him leave, but she can't quite do it, you know? God, the way this shot is lit. I fucking love it. Every single inch of this movie is just so fucking pretty. I find it to be the prettiest Star Wars movie, aside from maybe The Last Jedi, but even then I think this has the upper hand on it.
Yeah, it's even like the smoke near the lights up the top there, like just the atmosphere. There's everything. Like I don't even know if they truly did that or if it's just cold enough where they are. This is probably just a set. Actually,
yeah,
it's
probably.
not.
Yeah,
I don't know. They're not actually in a cold ass base, you know, right now having to deal with that. But
there's your boy.
There he is. Yeah, there he is. Always not the first, you know, in A New Hope.
Not this
time. Like A New Hope, but that's okay. Still pretty early for him, but
it's pretty funny. Irvin Kershner, the director of this movie, was far and away him and Lucas butted heads quite a bit because Lucas, his whole thing is faster, more intensity, but Kershner, that's not the kind of director he is. He likes to let things breathe. He likes to let things be dramatic, and ultimately, I think he lets it pay off. And Kershner wasn't a huge fan of the goofy elements of Star Wars, like 3PO. 3PO gets shit on in this movie continuously, and that's because Kershner wanted him to get shit on in this movie continuously.
Wow. Yeah, I didn't. I mean, the back and forth. At least it created quite the movie here. Yeah, I mean, and now it is crazy now just looking at every shot and just seeing like that one you said how it was Han and Leia, how it was lit, and like just. I would have never noticed that before. Like, yeah, like ever. Mm-hmm. I would have never even thought to notice that before. But now in this cave, looking at every little detail in the background, every little wire, like whatever the fuck this animal's called. I don't know.
Tauntauns.
Tauntaun. Yeah. Oh yeah. Okay. I could have gotten there actually if I thought about it.
You'd have gotten there. And I love Hans. I love the way Hans holding it down for his boy. He's like, I'm gonna go find this kid. All right. He held it down for me. I'm gonna hold it down for him. Let's do this shit. And we're actually about to. God, see that? That right there. How beautiful of a fucking shot is that?
Oh
dude?
My god!
Like it's pretty. It's pretty as hell. And we're actually about to get the first use of the Force in this capacity of it. You know, we did watch Vader, Force choke in the first one, but there's no pulling, there's no pushing, there's not like this is the first time we watch it used to that effect. And I think it's always super exciting to watch him ignite that saber for the first time, and the grotesquerie of that thing chowing down on the Tauntauns.
Yeah, absolute nightmare fuel. Just the worst. I mean, I had the toy as well of the monster, and I feel like it got a lot of abuse. Yeah, it got.
I beat the shit out of the Wampa.
Yeah,
I had one of those things.
Sorry to that toy.
Got it shit
but
rocked,
you kind of deserved it a little bit. You caused it a lot of grief. Yeah, that's Man, yeah, having to calm your mind to force pull a saber while that's walking towards you. That's that's.
And the way he does the same thing with the saber, we see Obi-Wan do the first thing with the saber, sever the arm, and call it good.
Okay, true. Wow, I never put that together before.
Shots like these are the ones they shot straight out the front door. It's obviously been expanded quite a bit, but like the very bare bones of it. That was the kind of idea. Another interesting behind the scenes story is that in between movies, Mark Hamill got in a pretty nasty car accident. And it disfigured his face a little bit. He had to get a little facial reconstruction surgery. So they had to include something like the Wampa attacking him to justify why his face looks so different.
Oh, wow. Dang, he needed
if you've ever been watching these movies, if you've ever watched these movies and you've been like, why does Luke look so different? It's not just that he's getting older, it's that he literally needed to fix his face after a car accident.
Yeah, he really needed the back to tank in real life.
Exactly.
Man.
So like they got that scar on his face here in the same place where the scar on his face actually is.
Oh, dang. Wow. Man, poor Mark Hamill. That's a...
Yes, indeed.
Glad he survived the crash, though. Only needed some surgery, but I didn't know that. Had no idea.
Yeah, it's a dark period there, but they got to make Empire, and the screenplay was like, all right, well, let's figure out a reason why his face looks like that.
Well,
really sticks out to me in Return of the Jedi whenever he gets even older. I feel like he just looks so different than he did in A New Hope, even though they're only like 5 years apart in terms of filming.
Oh, yeah. He just holds himself differently, too, in Jedi. Like, I feel like his face is so just like stoic. He's so confident at that point. But, man, yeah, I do. Hoth, it's one that I have clear memories of circling the AT-ATs with the cables and the Wampa and all these things. But man, a newfound appreciation.
I've always loved the red lights sort of shining off of the hair on Leia there, you know, and off of 3PO.
No, Chewie waiting till the absolute last second to let it go.
Yeah, no, I love Chewie, man. That's my man.
He's so down. Dang, man. But even
they always hold it down.
Just like all that oil or just grease or whatever the heck, you know, just to weather all this stuff, just to make it seem used, and that's just. I don't know. I love that attention to detail. And this homie's got it rough right now.
Bro's not doing good. Yes. Old Ben, Luke, go to Dagobah. Find Yoda. I love me some Alec Guinness. I'm glad he got to come back. You know, I always I don't forget, but I always write him off as a role in Empire and Return of the Jedi, but quite clearly isn't.
Yeah.
You know, he's just not actually there. I've always appreciated his presence, and I love that the stronger Luke grows with the Force, the more physical and interactive with the environment Obi-Wan becomes. Like there, he's just in the first one he was just a voice, and that he's barely a flickering image, and by a Jedi he's interacting with the environment and sitting next to him on logs and stuff.
Yeah. I never thought of the lineage, that he does just get closer and closer to him. And whether that's Obi-Wan getting more powerful or just Luke, I guess Obi-Wan's probably reached I don't know if there's really more training he can do
pinnacle.
there. Yeah, I guess. So it is definitely more of Luke's training.
Luke gaining that ability. Yeah.
But I haven't fully got into it, but like Qui-Gon, wasn't there like some post-death training that he did or something like that to or maybe that was just teaching Yoda and Obi-Wan.
Teaching Yoda and Obi-Wan was more what because he sought that knowledge on his own while he was alive. I've always loved Han wielding the saber there. I thought they smelled bad on the outside. Harrison Ford is just too damn good, and I struggle in this movie to pick a favorite performance, but Harrison Ford, man, he
holds it down.
Is so good all the time, man. He just does not miss.
He's the man. He is the man. The run he's going on is quite insane, and I'm glad I'm kind of getting all these movies myself right now, in close continuation. Some of them, so it's.
I need to revisit Blade Runner.
Yeah, I know. I want to watch both of them, and I feel like I'll just have. I watched Blade Runner not too long ago, but it was a vacation watch, so it wasn't a full attention and,
not fully
and wasn't loud.
Yeah,
it was quiet and all. So, but I don't know. It is now that I have a new appreciation for Harrison Ford now, after the Indies and stuff like that, and then now coming back through even these movies and appreciating him even more. Like he's
This is a fun little Easter egg right here. This man flying the ship, his designation is Rogue 2.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
The follow up, there's got to be a follow up team, I guess. Dang.
Exactly. And I like to think that they don't have a Rogue One in their squadron. Like that, it's like an honor thing. Like that Rogue One died with the crew who went to Scarif. I love that idea.
It'd be disrespectful.
But, sorry to cut you off. I just wanted to point
that's
that
awesome.
out because I've always
loved that.
I didn't. I've always loved that detail.
I would have never even thought about it. But yeah, that is nice.
First titties in Star Wars.
The good old bacta tank.
I love a bacta tank, man.
Man, yeah, good old facial scars. I wonder. Wow.
They're pretty made up right there, but like, and I'm assuming they have some makeup to accentuate them here, but his face does. I mean, his face is a little different than it was before. I've read, and I'm sure it's not true, that they're in one of these takes, Harrison Ford and Mark Hamill kissed.
Really?
That's two you owe me, Junior. Thanks. And they kiss.
Wow.
Mark Hamill played it up on Twitter. He acted like it was a real thing. I'm not sure. Like you just never know with that sort of thing.
Yeah.
I'm like, I don't know if he was just having fun and saying it happened.
Hey,
or
we'll take
if,
anything any actor says is canon, 100%.
I will
I'm
too.
down.
Like Billy D
Oh, yeah.
being like, what do you? They will love us. Yeah,
100% canon. It's an actor
Yep,
said it. That's a primary source right there.
Scruffy looking. God, I love their chemistry. Harrison Ford and Carrie Fisher just have it. Here we go, baby.
Yeah. Here.
The kiss that changed it all.
Yep.
Oh,
Only if they knew.
I love the way Luke throws his hands up
he's
like the pimp he feels like.
Oh, his little lip curl. He's like, that.
You just kissed your sister, fucko.
Man. But at the time, it's all about perspective, and none of them know. So it's only weird later. But man, one thing about these map kind of clear, I don't know what you call them, these little plexiglass little map things. But in the Acolyte that I really loved was the reflection shot of like Soul. Was you only saw Soul off the reflection of them, and you saw the other. I think it might have been maybe Indara and Torben, where they're talking to him. And I didn't know if that was the first time that's ever been done, like off just using the reflection. I thought, I don't know, it hit me, and I'm like, I don't think I've ever seen it. Yeah.
Yeah, here we go. We're about to see the thing. Yep, there it goes. Firing a few shots there.
Okay, yeah. So it's on site. It's
got its shit with it. God, I love Chewie whenever he's disheveled. Whenever he's all fuckety, it's one of my favorites. God, but like just the lighting there. Dang. Look at that shot. Look at the texture of it. Look at the way everyone is just. It's beautiful to look at, man. There's just so much. It's so rich, every single frame of the movie. Like this right here. All the different directions that the Star Destroyers are facing, and this one creeping over the top into frame. It's just... It's so innovative on the language that the first one set up for it. It just elevates the material, I feel like crazy. And, God, the shadow passing over it... Then you're like, holy shit, what the fuck is that big?
Excuse me? That's not okay. That's unfair. That is not okay. But, man.
Gosh, the way he shoots Vader.
A little cleaner here. Little smoother. Little less texture on the think
On the helmet.
Yeah. I wonder on the front
more polished.
if it is the same. I'd imagine so. I think I remember him being a little more polished here. But
I think you're right.
But man, yeah. I mean I talked about how like when we were back in the Hoth cave, how it looked cleaner for like the movie. It was more rustic and not literally clean, but just more polished as terms of the set. And man, yeah, the Imperial sets as well. I mean, they are turned up to 10 now, it feels like. Every little just light in the background. It's not, I don't know, it feels just so much more Star Wars.
It does, man. This is the defining image of pretty much every character in this movie for me. And I love the matte painting backgrounds, man. That's just so clean.
What even is that? What the heck? What even was I looking at there, really? Man. Oh, yeah. Gotta love the hunk of junk.
What the fuck, a zipper? A zipper in Star Wars? Oh, I'm gonna lose it. I'm gonna fucking lose it.
No problem.
That was one of the many stupid-ass critiques from a certain YouTuber on a recent Star Wars thing. But, punch it. I love Luke giving Chewie a little scratch behind the ears. He's so sweet. He's such a sweetie. He's such a sweet little guy. Look at him stanced up. Han's cunty as hell in this
posted. Man, yeah, this fit. He's He does always have a nice fit to him.
He's always got that shit on.
Jeez. I mean, I don't know why this is a surprise. Costume design and set design in Star Wars is
they always
on
get it
10.
right. Even this fucking guy, and the orange glow basking his like weird turtleneck type thing that also looks like an airplane. Like,
I guess
pillow.
I guess is it like their
neck
scarf?
Pillow?
Like because it's just cold, but like
operates
it looks
that
more
way,
like a pillow.
But it's like attached to their jacket.
It looks way more like a pillow. Like they could just take a nap wherever they want.
Gosh,
but
a fucking dreadnought is insane, and I love that shit.
That's
there.
a contender.
That shit opening up around him.
Yeah, that's a contender right there. That's a classic one.
His little meditation chamber.
More torture chamber than I don't know, more aptly named. I feel like he just remembers all the bad memories in there.
He be in there dwelling.
Yeah, he's sad boy. Sad boy hours in the black orb, whatever this. I don't know what shape you call that.
And he's like, all right, raise it up a little bit. I got to call somebody. And I love the TV static, like anything else.
Yep.
Like, and across the galaxy, there's going to be TV static. We know what that is.
Man, just a good old intergalactic FaceTime.
Yeah, kind of cool to see that he has that ability through. Like, all he has to do is see him. It's not a proximity thing.
I wonder if he was just thinking about somebody. Do you think if that FaceTime wasn't there, do you think like if he just thought super hard about that guy after the call, could he continue?
No, that's a good question. I'm sure there are certain Force users who have abilities like that, but I don't know. Gosh, and here Leia leading the fucking charge. Love the way she stands out with that all white fit versus the orange flight suits.
Man, yeah, and her hair is always just so nice too. Always changing it up and having.
That's a queen right there,
man. Good old preparing for battle.
Never get tired of it. I'll never get tired of these sequences in Star Wars. The giant random fucking satellites and weapons we see everywhere.
Man, just those clear maps. I mean, they don't look like they're really showing much, but goddamn, do they look so cool. Like
the atmosphere is just the aura is on 10. The red glow on those guys in the background, like you see that, like that's just
they had to think of that.
I love it.
Boosh. The little man, what you call that gun? That they got some big guns.
It's an ion. It's an ion cannon.
Okay. Damn, that's sad.
It allows them to
one ion cannon. That's all that they got on that base. But the one Star Destroyer just has them loaded up. Has just because they're prepare the ion cannons. You know, they're just that's just something else they have. That's crazy. But
homie Dak, it's good to meet Dak. You know, it's hopefully he can survive for a little bit. Hopefully he makes it out of this conflict. I sure hope he does.
Yeah, everyone makes it out of this alive. There's no one that dies, right? No one dies in this movie.
Nobody dies.
That's not a thing. But oh man, one of my favorite toys. Not R2. Well, will be eventually in my life. But the AT-ATs, man, that was a toy. Had like. Not a to scale one, but one that was big enough to actually put people in and like open up the side door and like I reenacted this scene. I don't know how much of just acting like I had a cable with behind the plane, just tying it up and then pushing it over. Oh, dude! I mean that's just all day. I mean I did no parent supervision needed. I was just sat next to that thing for hours, but.
All I need is my AT-AT. Every time I see one of them, I think about that little alien guy in Rogue One who spots the AT-AT and he goes, AT-AT!
Wow.
It always kind of kills me, even though it's like, you know, that guy's about to die with everybody else. But
they all. That's one where no one makes it out. That one, that one's for certain.
None of them live.
We got.
It's always an honor to see someone rejoin the Force. You know?
Oh man, love the stop motion the mixture of everything going on here. Just the man.
We got General Veers. When do I get more General Veers? I want all the General Veers I can get.
He did look really clear there for, I don't know, like that shot was very beautiful, like for no reason. Maybe not Veers actually. Is that the Imperial guy who was in the AT-AT?
Yeah, the Imperial with the weird ass helmet.
Yeah, okay, then yeah. I don't know, he looked super clear there.
I love me some General Veers for one pretty specific reason, and it's that he's played by the gentleman who plays he's played by Julian Glover, the guy who plays Grand Maester Pycelle.
Wait, what? Oh wait, I think you've told me this before, but like I've now just seen it in the movie in context is crazy. That is.
Yeah, like that's a much younger version of that man.
Oh my God, Pycelle in the AT-AT. Who would have thought?
Who'd have thunk it? Love me some Wedge Antilles too. He's kind of a glove shido. He's popped up in a little too much stuff to be a glove shido. Like he'll pop up in a few Rebels episodes. He gets mentioned in a lot of books.
Yeah,
But he's in The Rise of Skywalker and the gunner seat of the Millennium Falcon while Lando's flying it, which is cool. God,
come on, man.
This rules.
Come on. You're kidding me. Maybe, I don't know. I think this might be my deep passion for aviation and just flight and just stuff in the air and space. I don't know. This is pretty huge. I'm thinking me doing this as a kid all the time. I mean, I wanted the AT to go down, and it was because of the plane. That's why. And man.
Well, and I think it's worth noting that in the first Star Wars, we don't get any in atmosphere action. It's all in space. So I think there's something cool about seeing this close to a planet, them shooting at each other and them trying to take each other down on the ground and not in the air, I mean, like, they are in the air, but I mean in space.
Yeah.
I think it adds a certain, down-to-earth quality that this movie really, really boosts compared to the first one. The design of the AT-ATs are fucking insane. It's absolutely absurd. And the kinetic camera that follows the ships and it might have already happened, but there's like one random documentary zoom during one of these sequences where they're on the soldiers fighting, where like it feels like we are there. Oh, that snowtrooper! I've always fucking loved
those
that
helmets
design.
are sick.
Those helmets are so fucking cool. I always loved that little toy. I had one of those. Rogue Leader. There is no Rogue One, and Luke Skywalker is Rogue Leader. Isn't that cool?
I need the Rogue Leader outfit. It's an outfit that I've wanted. I don't know. I want the whole flight suit. I want the helmet. I want the suit. I want the glove. Everything about it. And there's a few outfits I want to own in Star Wars. This is the flight suit I want, and then I haven't decided on the robes, but I know I want I do want one set of robes. Yeah, didn't make it out, homie.
Dak's super dead back there. He's actually been dead for a little bit.
Yeah, that's
in the
true.
Back there.
Yeah,
his head was just hanging in the background while Luke was trying. But Jedi robes. Those are I could take or leave Jedi.
We got to
robes.
bring them back. We why is it unacceptable to wear robes in public and look like a Jedi? Why is that weird? It should be acceptable to wear capes and look cool wherever you go and not seem weird. But
I like the High Republic era robes that are more ornate. I do not like, I like the prequel era Jedi robes. They're fine. It's just always been such a funny detail to me that became the look for the Jedi, because what Obi-Wan is wearing is desert garb. It's what people on Tatooine wear. And it became what the Jedi wear because Obi-Wan wore it. And I think that's kind of funny.
Dang, they were just like, well, got to go off the legend. You know what? Just gotta. He set a true trendsetter,
and it becomes even funnier to know that like Obi-Wan went to Tatooine and he didn't have to change his wardrobe at all. You know, like that's what people there already wore. There was not much he had to do to blend in.
Yeah.
God, this always rules. The fucking
yoink. Oh, that'd be so much fun.
Oh, it would, dude. This was always one of the things when I was younger that I wanted to do. I was like, at some point, this is going to be a useful skill I'll need.
I will need.
At some point, I'm going
to climb up an AT-AT, throw a grenade in, destroy it from the inside out,
God.
And kaboosh. Gotta love it.
It just looks so good. How do you do that? That's just so. I love it, man. I love it so much.
Eesh. Yeah, very, easy to topple over, and I guess not practical in that sense, but man, whenever they're unleashing their power, it's,
They're intimidating, man. They're intimidating.
Not good. Man, how do you think of that? They're just like, well, let's just make a deer. I don't know, like, that. It kind of, that's the animal I always get, is just a deer for some reason. It just... Like, what? It doesn't really look... Maybe a bull, I guess, and the horn... Maybe the little lasers, or maybe it's closer to a bull.
Well, that's why, like... The AT-AT has a certain classicness to it. Whenever... I mean, like, we've already kind of set up a general schedule for when we're going to cover our other live commentary series of the other trilogies. But, like, when it comes to The Last Jedi, I think they knocked the AT-AT design out of the park. Because they're like the gorilla walkers. They're like knuckles bend down at the bottom. And it that looks fucking clean. You know what I'm saying? And but that's not to dismiss the AT-AT in any capacity. But I like that one just evokes a much clearer animal, Yeah,
these...
See, there's C-3PO getting shit on again.
Come on.
However briefly. Golden
Man,
rod.
how do you get a shot like that? Like, that's... To be able to pull back and get that scale and have it look seamless with everything that's real versus not, and there he is.
God damn, that blue glow coming in from the left and the troopers following in tow. It just looks so fucking pretty at all turns. And the Millennium Falcon seems bigger.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
You know?
Man, it really does. Like, it is... We're in there. Like it.
All the lights coming on in the cockpit will always get me going. To connect it to The Last Jedi again, that's probably my favorite shot in The Last Jedi is when Luke walks in and turns on the lights in the cockpit of the Falcon.
The aura that the Falcon gives off is Lando. It all comes back to Lando. The taste that Lando had, he had the taste. And Han, I mean, they were lovers, so they understand each other. They understand each other's tastes.
Luke just walking away always kind of fucking kills me. His little waddle. He's like, I've got things to do. All right, I'm gonna.
Yeah, I got a weird vision that I don't really know if it's to be believed or not.
R2, let's load up.
Got to go to Dagobah.
I don't know. Maybe I was just seeing shit. I mean, it was terribly cold. I nearly died, but I got to take a shot, See, that's why Luke's faith is different than mine. I'd have been like, well, yeah, I was clearly seeing things.
Nope.
I'd go too logical with it.
Instantly got in a ship. First thing you could do. Nope. Straight to Dagobah. Let's go see that green old dude. But man, well, he doesn't know, I guess. Not the green old dude, but good old Ben does. Man, what a sad. He's been out here, just in depresso mode, just living out his days, But
I think it's funny that Yoda's completely lost his mind. I can't wait till we meet Yoda. It's one of my favorite. Probably my favorite sequence in this whole movie is what happens on Dagobah. But
man, yeah, this movie's pretty stacked.
There again, 3PO. 3PO being like, might I suggest, no, you cannot. Shut the fuck up.
Yeah,
You know,
actually, no. Shut up, man. Yeah, he's at least I don't know this feud between
the crossing of the
it's the scale every time. These are miniature things that are somehow I don't know. It boggles my mind every time that I just have to think about the thought process put behind every single one of the shots they're doing and just the vision behind
Hans.
it.
Oh yeah, watch this.
Nope,
nothing happens. It's not fair. It's not fair.
Die down.
It's not my fault. There's a great parallel in his reaction to Lando's later on in the movie. That I absolutely
Why was
adore.
his ass so? Oh man, yeah. Again, man, they were like, I don't know. He was wrapped around that pipe. I don't know. He was just.
Yeah, they know.
Boom. I've never noticed that before.
They know what Ford's rocking with, man. They know what he's got.
Damn, and then good old that had to hurt if that toolbox actually fell on him. I mean, that had to fucking concussed.
That's nothing.
If it's on the head. But
God, the madman going into the asteroid belt. They'd be nuts to follow us, wouldn't they?
Are you actually going?
Who is more the fool or the fool who follows him?
Who's that from?
Might be a little bit of a cool connection. I mean, the first one, whenever Obi-Wan gets called an old fool and he tells Chewie, or he tells them, who's more the fool or the fool who follows him?
Yeah, these TIE fighters don't have it. They really think they have it like Han? Come on.
Chance. They don't stand a fucking chance. There's literally 4 pilots who ever canonically could have achieved this. And one of them is Force sensitive. One of them is Anakin.
Okay, fair enough.
The others, Han, Hera,
Poe.
and Poe.
Okay, yeah, that was. I was gonna say that's they are 100% the top 4. Yeah, I wonder who would be next.
And I kind of disqualify Anakin in my head. I know he's a really talented and gifted pilot, but he obviously has an advantage that the other 3 just don't.
Yeah, being the chosen one helps. That'll help the piloting skills. But yeah, I wonder who would be the next pilot right after them. That's an interesting question of who.
Rey, probably, but she's also
got the Force angle as well.
She's also got the Force. I'm trying to think of the next
non-Force sensitive. Maybe Lando, but like he just flew the Falcon.
Yeah, Lando's got to be considered. But he was good at it. He
came in clutch.
Han, but he was slick with it.
He comes in clutch. He does his work.
Into the maw of Shai Alud.
Yes. Oh my gosh! Any worm that shows up in Star Wars, it just must be.
I mean, like this one might be the most expressly influenced. Besides, starting on a desert planet or like the desert planet of Tatooine that produces spice and stuff. I think that the giant worm in Empire might be the other big one. The other huge influence. They got their own Shai Hulud down here, but
man, honestly,
started on Tatooine, but now I'm way out in the dig.
Man, I'm really jealous of just a life form detector. That thing was able to detect that. I mean, something's alive down there. Is it detecting just the nature, or all the animals aren't detected, but it's just detecting Yoda, or all the animals give it something too? I'm
pretty sure even plant life gives a reading. It does. Like, I think there are different levels to it. There's a ton of creatures, as we know, like those right there, and we see the whatever is in the water that takes R2 eventually. But I would like to know the specifics. I wonder if there's different readings for different beings. Like there is a plant level and an animal / other life form level.
Yeah.
Because I don't think they can distinct between like humans or anything.
Yeah. I feel like they do say sometimes like tune the life form, like tune the analyzer to, or something like that. Like and maybe it is just like a plant versus versus animal kind of thing. But man, yeah, I've always Dagobah is pretty awesome. It is going to be tough to not pick something from this as a favorite.
Well, and there's something that I want to point out here that he gets plenty of love for it, but I want to give him more. Is that Mark Hamill might have had the toughest job he has across the entire saga in this movie. He spends so much of his time knee-deep in slosh with nobody but a puppet to act off of. You know, like, Mark Hamill does an incredible job in this one. I think, and I for some reason, I keep connecting this back to The Last Jedi, but it's this and The Last Jedi for me when it comes to Mark Hamill. I think he just does so good in those movies. And this one, I mean, like I said, he's just with Frank Oz and a puppeteer and a crew, you know? He's not really...
Man.
He's not acting off of anybody. He's not looking at anybody. He has to act, he is as responsible for bringing that puppet to life as the puppeteers and Frank Oz is, you know?
I never really thought of how really alone he is. Like, there is a puppet there, but that guy is, like, underneath the set completely. Like, he's there's no human that Mark Hamill is acting off of. And it is, that's nuts. And, man, I mean, I don't think I'll ever, like, Star Wars will ever go down. Like, the trajectory will always just keep going up. Like, it's great. Like, it is nuts how I just appreciate it more and more.
And I think that specifically applies to the original trilogy, you know, like, there's just and moreover, maybe even more specifically to Empire, you know, like, there are like, I struggle to find flaw in this movie at all, dude. Like, it, and, you know, there's almost certainly a degree of bias there. I love it. I love it quite dearly. But, like, look at that. Look at the perspective going on there. And we're about to get a quick glimpse of the helmetless Vader that we, you know, after the first movie, there was all sorts of speculation. Is Vader a man? Is he a robot? And this puts those to rest. That is a man in there.
Ooh. And that...
Capeless Vader also looks tough as fuck, by the way.
Yeah, that's true.
Kind of emphasizes how similar his costume is to Jedi armor during the Clone Wars.
Oh yeah, the top piece. Oh no, yeah, I don't.
And he's got like robe pants that go with it. It kind of stands out at the beginning of the movie, and I think Empire does a better job at showing it off than any other part, but like he's got a flowing skirt almost on top of the cape. And the cape is really the only thing that makes it dark-sided, you know. Other than that, it feels like it could be Jedi garb, which is cool.
Yeah, 3PO really is getting shit on this whole time. You're right.
Oh, the entire time.
And
this is one of my favorite moments between Han and Leia. This, don't get too excited. I don't have time for anything else. Like, that's just so smooth. The smile he gives him and her being like, yeah, I kind of set myself up for that one. Fuck. Yeah, it's so cute, man. I love them. I do. And I think it's funny that they both so obviously feel for each other and cannot let themselves admit it. And Han can a little bit more than she can, you know, like, and that's rare, you know. It feels like Han, you know, I think that's why Solo, I appreciate that movie so much, is that it kind of recontextualizes him as a bit of a hopeless romantic, and, you know, it makes him a cynic a bit, but there's a part of him that will always be like that, and I think it comes through in this movie particularly.
Come on, man. Come on.
Man.
Whoever is making those decisions, you know, like, that's director? Is that cinematographer?
Director, cinematographer, like, it's a little bit of everything, you know, like, it's a collaborative medium there.
Thank you, whoever. Like, whoever
director.
made that decision for that lamp right there, thank you. Like, that's, goddamn. Yeah, this,
Well, I mean, like, movies just don't look like this anymore. You know what I'm saying? And I know that's just a tired take. People have heard it everywhere. But there's a reason I say it, man. It's just like, I can't point to not even other Star Wars movies look like this. You know, like The Last Jedi, I think it's the second best looking Star Wars movie, and it doesn't look anywhere near as good as this one.
It's like, even though you can, there he is, and like even though you can clearly tell, like, he is a puppet. It's tangible. I so much prefer this Yoda over prequel Yoda, over the CGI Yoda, and it's just it's because it's real, and it's because Luke is really looking at the puppet. Like, even though it isn't a real thing, it is a real thing, I guess, that Luke is looking at, but it's not a real life form. Is, I guess, what I was trying to get at. But I mean, it's he's just a little crazy. He's a little cuckoo.
Mine. Yeah, no, I fucking love this characterization of Yoda, especially since, like, what we know him as, it's abundantly clear that he's not just fucking with Luke. He's actually lost it a little bit. You know what I'm saying? Like, he is a completely different person than he than he was before. I think he's just such a funny fucking presence in this movie. But then there is a point whenever he locks the fuck in eventually, and he convenes with Ben, you know, and he's like, the boy is not ready. And you realize, like, it has been a little bit of an act to try and, you know, kind of evoke Luke's worst tendencies to try to see if he can control them. And it's cool to see him like that.
When you're, I guess, almost 1,000, I guess you can lock back in pretty easily, I'd say. I'd say it's like kind of like riding a bike. But I mean, homie, he's got to feel some big guilt. You know, a pretty long peacetime while he was alive, and then boom.
The tail end was just tragedy after tragedy.
Was not looking good, and so I understand. I understand why he comes out here, and why Luke will later on to do the same thing. You know, it's like, it's what they know. It's just kind of like, dang, well, Yoda did it, so I can do it too. You know, I want to go to my island. I get my alone time, but.
I think it's cool to see how much he learns from the people that came before him, and how much Yoda and Obi-Wan even kind of parallel each other here. You know, whenever in the first one, whenever Luke's like, it mentioned an Obi-Wan Kenobi, and he's like, Obi-Wan. Now that is a name I haven't heard for a very long time. A very long time. You know, like but then he goes, I should know him. He's me. You know, Yoda plays the opposite way. He's like, Yoda, you see Yoda? Let me take you to him. Yeah, I don't know who the fuck that is. I love that they kind of got this, they've got a similar aura going on in terms of, like, situation. They both went into exile. They both hid. They both were preparing for something. And when it comes, they have different ways of approaching the situation.
Always repairing the ship.
I
don't know.
Always. You got, like, the Falcon is always falling apart. There has never been a point in the saga where I feel like there's not a single place this ship appears in that it doesn't need to be fixed, in some capacity. Man,
but you gotta.
Hey, your warship.
Yeah, I wonder all the names he calls her. Just, I want to know how many different ones there are.
Your worshipfulness. Sometimes he asks, he adds a fullness on the end of that warship. Sorry if you can hear my dog breathing right here. He's like right next. Oh, he just licked my ear.
Oh man,
scoundrel. Yeah, he's got game, man. He's got the fucking Mac on him, dude.
Just admit it already, you two. But no, it's what makes it so good. It's what makes it... Man. The slow inch. Just...
There it is.
It's arrived.
God damn it, 3PO. See, like, that's how you know they fucking hate him. Like, they're like, you know what, 3PO would cock block Han.
Yeah. Yeah. Oh, he's pissed. He thought about throwing 3PO out the airlock right there. That was 3PO almost died.
Like, how to fucking
right here.
kill you, you piece of shit. Yeah. Man, I love these interactions between the holograms, and like that's some pretty cool shit, especially for the time, you know. And I know it's been updated for special editions and stuff, but damn, it looks good. I love the design of Imperials in this movie, like all of their faces. And this is something Rebels does a really good job at, is that all of their faces look the same.
Yep.
And like, see that? Like, look at that! Look at that! Look at that! That's actually Hayden Christensen, by the way.
Really?
This part right here. Because that's prequel era Palpatine. They shot this on the set of Revenge of the Sith.
So what was this before?
Before, it's actually, the Emperor's look changed quite a bit. Because it was previously, it looked fucking ugly. To be honest, you know.
So that's not even the... Wow, so that's Hayden right there.
David
That's
Prowse.
crazy. Yeah, wow. Huh.
Yeah, Hayden Christensen appears in The Empire Strikes Back as we see it now.
Wow. Well, I guess...
Yeah, and I think it's like they might have like straight up came straight from the set of Revenge of the Sith and shot this. Like that looks like him at the end of that movie, to be honest. Palpatine.
That's awesome. It's kind of cool. I mean, it's whatever, you want to keep something pure and how it came out, one thing, but then at the same time, like, if this is how he envisioned it from the start, and
if this is how the creator wants to create his movie, then like fuck it, you know.
It's a mixed bag, but it's
I can see multiple perspectives. R2 rising up on the tippy toes there. That's so fucking cute.
Oh man.
Yeah, you know, like I can see the multiple perspectives there in that situation. I understand wanting. I do think what is bullshit is that you basically cannot find theatrical versions of Star Wars. Like they don't exist unless preserved from that time. And that blows, you know, like it would be very cool to be able to watch them. And I think that's where we're really losing out, is that, you know, it fucks with film history a little bit, you know, cause I appreciate that the creative George Lucas gets to do what he wants and gets to envision things the way he always wanted it to be. But there's also the fact that it's probably not always what he wanted to be. It's just like he had the opportunity to make it look better, and he was like, I can make it look better now. Let's go ahead and do it. You know, like
yeah, it is. I guess it's a better change. Like, I guess if the Emperor did look pretty jank, I guess before. I mean, I don't know. Maybe it is just better that we have this nice clean look, but I don't know. It would be nice to have that jank
like,
a little bit.
The fuck?
But
see, this is such an important part of the movie and part of the saga for anyone who feels like Luke isn't human. Him being like much anger in him, just like his father, you know, like it's made pretty clear in the original trilogy that Luke is not some fucking unfallible hero. And once you become a Jedi, it doesn't make you an unfallible hero, you know? Like, I think that's something that a lot of people could stand to gain an understanding of. I think it's even funnier that, like, Yoda and Obi-Wan in this movie, they can't let go of their Jedi dogma, you know? Even now, after the fall of the Jedi as we know it, whenever he's like, I need to go help my friends, they're like, you shouldn't.
Man.
You know? It's like, in what world is that the right thing to do? You know what I'm saying?
Yeah. Still abide by the Jedi Order code, which isn't even a thing anymore. And yeah, do not help your friends. Yeah, that is. I mean, I guess there's no way they're going to really see the world differently, you know, and that's maybe...
I mean, especially Yoda.
Yeah, he's locked in now. I mean, that's...
He's in it. He is in it. And there's a certain element to it that's like, if you dedicated your life to this thing and it ended so tragically, you know, do you want to feel like it was all for nothing? You know, like, do you all of a sudden flip on that? You know, probably not. And I think that's so there's something admirable about it, but there's also something kind of, you know, they're just a little bit in denial about the fallibility of the Jedi code. And
it's a sad quote in the science world. I don't know. It might be a more generic quote, but at least they say that science progresses one funeral at a time. That there's a lot of people that are so hard pressed on their theories that they'll do anything to keep them proven. But anything to say otherwise is wrong. But then when they die, it's a lot easier to be like, well, it's not really accepted anymore, or whatever, and challenge new ideas, stuff like that. But it's kind of a little bit the same with the Jedi, is that like it's their code is the same, I guess, throughout the whole thing. But obviously, ideals and stuff change throughout as the galaxy and the universe changes and stuff, and you just need the new mindsets to come in. But I guess Yoda is a pretty constant one, though. There's no rotation with him. He's just there the whole time. But
well, and I think that's why when it comes to the conversations about the Jedi, I think it's really important to understand that, you know, when it came to the Acolyte, there was so much surrounding the discussion that was like, Jedi bad. Like, people are like, well, they're making the Jedi bad. No, they're not. They're making them people, you know? Like, they are not unstoppable heroes. That's something George Lucas wanted to make clear, was that they are not superheroes. They are people who follow a religion, and it became entrenched in government and this dogma, and that's what happens, you know?
Mm-hmm. Yeah, we are also seeing a very small portion of this. We're only seeing them at their, like, when they're doing their best. Like, we haven't really been given the chance to see them do things that would be bad. But I mean, the movies were I feel like just a lot simpler. It was just, we were functioning off, they are good, and it's just good and evil. And it was good guys and bad guys. And the mythology wasn't really concerned with that.
With the gray areas or anything, you know? Like, it's a willingness to change, you know, and evolve and accept change in your stories, I think. Things grow. This franchise has grown to a point where, you know, like, stuff being black and white, good and evil, you know, like, I'll take it. I love those stories. But, like, there's more stories to tell, and I think that's just something people got to accept. I don't want the same shit over and over, you know. I've always loved this sequence where they are literally inside the giant worm at this point. We saw the Minox a little bit ago, which we can now connect back to Mandalorian. Those are what tear up Grief Karga.
Oh. Wow. Yeah, that's not fun. Yeah, those things suck.
Shia-Lu.
But I guess we get Baby Yoda or Grogu healing for the first time because of those things. So that's one positive that comes from them. But
beautiful, beautiful.
Dang, homie, training
looks like a fucking painting.
Yeah, it does,
dude.
Is it in the very, very back?
Some of it almost certainly is, but not all of it. You know. I love the like spider-esque trees. It was originally conceptualized. They couldn't make this happen, that those were living beings. Whoa. And that they planted themselves in the ground and died there and became trees.
Okay, that's nuts. Yeah, I need to take a look at the concept art. Because that's something
Concept art is fucking
I've
awesome,
never
dude.
looked at
Ralph
it.
McQuarrie, like, the work he did for these, unbelievable. It's not my favorite scene. Hard to not go with stuff on Dagobah, though. Like, Yoda Yoda really teaching him the things Obi-Wan never got the chance to. You know, like Obi-Wan was the one who introduced him, but Yoda was more Luke's master than Obi-Wan ever was, and I think that that's kind of a cool touch.
Yeah, you got the best of both worlds. You know, he's just kind of getting no one official master, but if you had to choose one, it's probably Yoda. That's yeah.
Probably Yoda.
I mean, literal training. I mean, they're going through it right now. So, and got it. My man's there to see it all. You know, he is.
R2 witness me.
Man. Yeah, I know. I saw something the other day pop up where it was like, all of Star Wars is told from R2-D2's perspective, years or centuries down the line. But how would he know what was going on with Han and Leia and all this stuff while he's on Dagobah?
Right.
It's like, you know, I like R2, and I would.
That's where 3PO
yeah,
is.
I would like to think that every single thing in Star Wars could be told from his point of view, but no, it can't, and that's okay.
There was that quintessential line where Luke asks what's in the cave, and Yoda says, "Only what you take with you." I love that. I love that sentiment on dark side energy.
Good old Chimere putting the helmet on. That's all you take with you.
Only what you take
Man,
with
that's
you. Yeah.
ooh, man, it's so. God, this mythology is just so cool. It'll never get old. It will never get old.
It will always deeply satisfy me. Always. Lizard.
Yeah, that's just a normal Earth animal there. Looks like.
Yeah, there was a snake a second ago, slithering through the trees. You know, like it's funny to see like normal ass animals. But yeah, like this is another, like there's another one right there. But yeah, it's there. This movie is just so loaded with perfect scenes. There's, I don't know how to decide. I do. I know what my favorite scene is. I'm gonna stand by it, but like I'm hard pressed to not go with this. You know, the vision, the walking into the cave and seeing himself as Vader.
Yeah,
seeing the potentiality of what he could become.
Another nightmare fuel. I don't know. I always Darth Vader was already inherently scary, but then just in a hallway, in a like a confined space, nowhere to go, he's there. That's scary. I don't know, not.
The idea that he is capable of defeating him, but is that what he needs to do? Does he need? If he does it, what does he become? You know. The little burst of flame here whenever it pops open.
Man, that'd be a scary sight.
God, I love a vision sequence, man. I love a vision sequence. It's always so fucking fun. I feel like we're sold too short on vision sequences in Star Wars. I need more of those, you know?
I was obsessed.
The Acolyte's given us a couple. Book of Boba Fett gave us one.
Rey's vision, I was obsessed with it. I literally, it was a deep, I wrote an essay on who her parents could be, and it was a very large portion of it. In high school. This was high school. Yeah, that was.
Here's the introduction to some icons here. Got Forlom, Zuckuss, Bosk, and Boba. Oh, and Dengar.
The bounty hunting crew. The top of the game, I guess, right here. I guess, well, who else is, let's see, still alive?
Cad
yeah,
Bane,
he's
IG-88
chilling.
there.
No disintegrations. We don't know what that means, but we do now.
We do now. But it's just such a cool, like, another cool little world-building thing where they're like, you know, like, if you're going to establish something that is possible in the universe, but you're not allowing it, that's cool. You know, like, no disintegrations. You're like, that guy can disintegrate people?
That's
you know,
an
like,
option?
That's fucking cool. That's a great idea. To be like, they know they can't make that happen on screen, but they can, they can be like, we can act like it's a possibility. And I think that that's fucking cool. It's just such a fun, creative choice. It's not my fault. I'm pretty sure Lando says the exact same thing later on whenever they're leaving Cloud City. It's like, it's not my fault. It's not my fault. And there's something really, really strong about this movie in that it's, like Irvin Kershner likes to do, he lets his storylines unfold in a really, really neat way. And a lot of the stories take place in mostly one location. Obviously we started in Hoth, but we've been on Dagobah and on the Falcon and on the Star Destroyer for a while now. And then we'll reconvene in Bespin, and we'll spend the rest of the movie there. And I think that that's something that the first one, it was really jumpy, We're Tatooine and Star Destroyer and Death Star and the Falcon and a lot of locations, a lot of world building it has to do, and I feel like this one gets to live in the world a little bit, and I think that that's again one of my favorite shots here.
Ooh, classic. Yeah, this
iconic shit.
Man, R2 needs a bath.
Real bad. Needs one of those oil baths.
Man, I want to get to this. The one-handed handstand, I mean, it's force-assisted. Or is this act...
Of course, it's focused.
So this isn't just... That's not his physical strength. He's force-assisting his handstand as well? Okay, yeah.
I believe so. That's part of the focus at hand, like balancing himself. I think that strength, it probably does help depend on his strength, but... There is an element to him staying up is centering himself in the force,
Yeah, I see. Because if that was all physical strength there, that's pretty damn impressive.
It's pretty impressive. That's pretty impressive.
I don't know if that's even actually is that possible at peak human form. I don't know.
Oh yeah, humans can do that. There are people out there.
Yeah, I bet the Olympics are about to be on. I'll probably see it somewhere be done, but. Man.
You must unlearn what you have learned. He spoke in riddles. The iconic do or do not. There is no... he delivers iconic line after iconic line in this sequence. And I think that's just, it's so cool that Star Wars has created a few characters that if you have never watched Star Wars... sorry about that. Jesus. A few characters that if you've never seen Star Wars, you still know exactly who you're looking at. Darth Vader, Yoda, and R2-D2, I would say, are the primary examples of such an occurrence.
I wonder if there's another franchise that has as many recognizable characters that, everyone just knows.
Marvel might at this point.
True. Yeah.
Because of its billion-dollar run where it just made movie after movie. But there's also a much larger history of those characters, some of those characters go back to the fucking 50s and 60s.
They're the main superhero. It just so happens that we have the movies where they're all together, but these are just characters. Luke will be, I guess, the main character, you could say, but then you still, Vader's a pretty main, I guess, I don't know, but I mean, it's
more on the basis of character design and iconicism, there's, and this is where he delivers my favorite line of the episode, luminous beings are we, not this crude matter. It's been my Twitter bio for years now. I fucking love this, the music that's playing right now. I've got the movie muted right now, but I know for a fact it's one of my favorites in the entire saga. This movie definitely has my favorite soundtrack of the original trilogy. Just so beautiful. I love Leia's theme, and I love the Imperial March is technically introduced in this movie.
Oh wow! Yeah, we got some classics then. That's a big one. And man, yeah, I guess I was gonna say good look for Luke with the tank top, but man, I guess I even like the jacket as well.
Covers it up. Yeah, the jacket looks good, dude. He looks good in it. Judge me by my size, do you?
Man, yeah, it's tough. It's always tough to pick a character every time that I watch one of these, but
Yeah,
man, it's tough not to go with Yoda. I don't know, that the more and more I'm watching, he's just the master. I don't know, the true master, and that just he does come in and he is crazy at first, but then locks in, and you're just kind of not a total drunken fool, but I don't know. Maybe off of his iconicism alone, I can pick him, but not necessarily an arc or anything that he goes on or anything crazy. But
no, but I can't blame you though. He's wise. He is teaching our protagonist. He's pushing him forward, and he does have that iconic factor to him. It's hard to pass him up. He's
kind of God in the closest thing to God in the universe right now, at least. And
well, I mean, there's something to be said for the fact that he's kind of the light side of the Force personified. Mm-hmm. He is the living Force, and I think that that's really, really cool. He's been around for so long. He's seen it all. He's seen everything. He's learned so much, and still. You could make an argument that the longer you live, the more likely it would be that you fall to the fucking dark side. And it's cool that he
undefeated.
He never does.
Yeah, never fell. He is. That's crazy to never be. Well, I guess I don't know. Maybe that we know of. I guess there's a.
Yeah, I mean we've only seen stuff in the latter half of his life, or the latter third, I should say.
Yeah, I wonder if he ever did go dark for a little bit. Doesn't feel like it, but homie's been around for a while, so I do see it as a possibility. But man, he's holding his belt. Okay, I felt like earlier he kind of had his hands close to his belt, but they were kind of hovering. He kind of was holding them up. But maybe he was just holding his belt last time, and I just didn't quite catch it. But yeah, good old Han Strat. Hide in plain sight.
I love it. And I love that they're just like, yeah, let's just eject all of our fucking trash into space.
I mean, it's something the Empire would do. So it fits. Mm-hmm. I mean, it's perfect. Some people could say it's lazy writing or something, that no way you could do that. It would be how could you travel in space? But no, the Empire, they would do this. That is 100% in their I was going to say their character, but the Empire's not really a.
Look at that Dutch angle.
Ooh,
side.
Yeah. 3PO in the corner with that stare, just freaking beaming. But
bro's conked the fuck out.
That blue light on Han, or that
gorgeous. Man. Lando. We're about to meet Billy D, baby. I love me some Billy D. Love that he becomes a legit businessman by conning somebody out of a gas mine.
Tabana gas.
He's like, well, I'm going to steal this.
Why have I feel like I heard, maybe in Thrawn, maybe that was in Thrawn for some reason, Tabana gas, or maybe a different, I feel like I've heard that somewhere else. I don't know why, and somewhere else in Star Wars other than here.
You almost certainly have.
Oh man, that's gonna bug me. I feel like it almost certainly is Thrawn though. But nope. Not smart enough.
Not swiftly making an escape, baby. There's the slave one.
Can't outsmart this man. But
I've always, obviously, I've always loved the character design of Boba Fett, man. That's I love emulating the brim of a cowboy hat with the visor, but also emulating a samurai and combining kind of all the design elements Lucas loved and all of his influences and putting it into one character. I think that's so fucking cool.
Yeah, that's why a lot of people attach to him. I mean, not a lot of screen time whatsoever, but man, do people love Boba Fett. Well before his show. I'd say, honestly, his reception went down after his show, honestly, sadly.
Yeah, I think people actually like the character less now, which is horseshit.
I mean, you know, there is a thing to be said where Din is kind of just made to be the more badass Mandalorian. You know, it's like, oh, you know, Bill Burr being, I thought you were this other guy, and then, you know, Din walks out and there he is. But
yeah,
so,
that shit
so it's, I don't know, it is a weird balance that you're trying to put someone who's already so badass like Boba up to someone you're trying to make the new badass like Din. So, but
love the revelation that he's his dad Jango was a Mandalorian foundling, so Boba is Mandalorian by creed. You know, I think that's really, really cool. I've always loved that. Ever since we learned that.
In the armor, just
bro's forearms are fucked.
Yeah, he's not
muddy as hell.
Mark Hamill's looking good though. Yeah, he's looking.
He does.
You know, not a crazy. You know, he's not freaking ripped, but dude is.
God damn, Bespin is fucking gorgeous.
Yeah, yeah. They did not pick any bad looking location. That is, they are all looking great the whole time. Man, what are these ships? I don't. Yeah, these are. Bespin's got some. Man.
They're all about elegance, you know. They prioritize design over all else, style over function every time on Bespin. Even the fucking planet,
yeah,
is style over function.
Yeah, it can't be very practical to be up in the sky all the time, you know. But
this is another one of those pieces of concept art you got to see, is the concept for Cloud City. I mean, it's gorgeous, man. And I mean, again, just creatively, what a brilliant idea. A city in the sky, you know?
Fucking, of course we would, you know, like this. If we got to this level of technology, like, of course we would do this shit. This would be the most beautiful sunrise and sunset every day. Like it's unfair. You don't have to really worry about the clouds because you're always either above. You're pretty much above them. But well, I don't know. They seem to have some there. Yeah, I don't know. You
know, I mean, I wonder if there are days where it's like really foggy because they're like in a cloud.
I guess. Does it rain on Cloud City ever?
That's a good question.
I wonder, if there are.
Well, you know, the planet's a gas planet, which makes it impossible to live on the surface. So it's like, how much does it rain on a gas planet anyway?
Yeah, and if it is raining, it's probably not water. That's
Hello, what have we here?
There he is.
God, I love Billy D. I love Lando. And so I'm actually going to give Billy D. Williams my performance for The Empire Strikes Back.
Okay.
I think that he is just having the time of his life. He perfectly embodies this character, and the moments that you need to feel. You know, I used to hate Lando for what he does, but growing up, I've obviously seen the
that's true
obvious, dilemma he was in. And there's a performance thing Billy D. does that's just. You feel bad for him. You feel bad for the situation he found himself in. And is he not just the suavest motherfucker there is?
So
man?
smooth.
Like,
Who has more game than Lando?
There's not a soul alive.
Is there anyone in the universe? Or anyone in any other universe for that matter?
That's fair.
Man, the cape blowing in the wind.
Just pimp. Just pimp. I'm glad they end up getting Leia an outfit change here before long. She's been rocking the same thing since we saw her at the beginning of the episode, or the beginning of the movie. I wish they wouldn't have... There's deleted scenes where she's wearing this like gorgeous red dress, and I wish they somehow could have kept that in the movie, but they unfortunately do not. But this might be my favorite set in all the movies, is the Cloud City design. I'm not usually a huge fan of minimalist aesthetics, but there's something that goes with this environment. It's the lighting, the orange and the blue and the yellow and the pink. Like those hues, it just really, really complements this so intensely well. And I adore it. I do.
Yeah, 3PO could not have walked in a worse closet or a worse...
Yep. Bro
Boom!
got blown to fucking bits.
I mean, he's dead.
Blown to
he's
fucking
literally
bits
dead
in this movie.
Like, literally completely gone right now. And
George talking to Irvin Kersh. Well, Irv, you can't kill 3PO. Okay.
No, we're going to blow him up, George. George, we are going to blow every single limb off his body, and his limbs are going to snap in half as well.
Blow him up.
Like, yeah, that's... Man, I didn't know this feud. Yeah, I didn't know there was some feud going on, but...
Yeah, it's just... there's some interesting stories, just because Irvin Kershner... Like, the way him and George butt heads was simply because creatively they had different visions. And it's why, whenever it comes to episode 6 next week, Richard Marquand, the director of Jedi, was basically a puppet. Lucas basically directed that movie, and Marquand got the director's credit on it. He basically did. He did whatever Lucas wanted, and Kershner pushed back at him when he saw fit. Which is why I think you would argue Empire ends up being the best Star Wars movie, because while Lucas has a really great creative mind, I don't think he's a particularly talented director. He's directed some good movies, don't get me wrong, and he is a good director, but I feel like this movie makes it evident that the way Rian Johnson directs The Last Jedi and a few of the even the TV directors kind of show why Lucas might not be the greatest director in the saga.
You take Spielberg, you take the creative juices of Lucas, and then put an actual director of Spielberg next to him. Yeah, that's like it's made even clear that the George's, I don't know, he's just not got the direction juices quite like the other guys, but what he does have quite the mind to come up with an expansive world.
Guy.
Just come up with the ideas and let the people take care of it. And but I would see it's tough. It's his baby. Like, this is his universe. It's his galaxy and all his characters. It would be tough to...
Well, and not to mention that every single movie, he basically had everything he owned writing on it.
Mm-hmm.
And sorry, just got to comment on how beautiful those shots of Luke taking off with Yoda basking in those lights is. It's fucking gorgeous.
Yep.
But he basically always invested everything he had in these movies, and so you can't really blame him for wanting full control, because whenever he puts the control in somebody else's hands, he's taking his money and going, okay, we'll figure it out. There is a certain possession you have in a literal sense and a figurative sense when that happens.
There's the outfit change. There we go.
Yeah. Gorgeous. And a hair change. Beautiful hair. I love that they're like fully in it now. They're kissing each other and stuff. Like, it's not even really thinking about it. Just came naturally. The way they are lit, man. It's almost like a cheesy romance film when they're on screen during this part, when the way the light kind of washes them out at points. It's like they're the only person in the world.
It's that eye contact too. I don't know, they're looking each other directly in the eyes, and that
Chewbacca saving 3PO from dying. The Ugnaughts.
Yeah,
They have spoken.
C-3PO literally about to get the equivalent of cremated.
Melted.
Yeah, like he just about to die for good, but in a box. And soon in a little net on the back of Chewbacca. But, man, yeah, that's... I guess wanted to take it out on 3PO. Just take out all the frustration out on 3PO this movie, but Billy D, you couldn't come in at a worse time in this trying to sway Leia.
Belong here with us among the clouds. Like, that's a bar, bro. I'm sorry.
That's got to work on every other girl, you know? Like, how does it...
Yeah, every other person ever has fallen for that. But Leia's just a bit too headstrong for Lando. And I mean that in the best possible way. Affectionately, I should say.
Man.
But...
man, if
like the little lamps in the background and the doorways and the ornate carvings into the wall, like I love the set.
I wish we could have gone to Lando's bedroom to see his closet here.
What he's rocking with.
His closet on the Falcon was that dripped out, to imagine what his Cloud City closet is like is...
Han doesn't
on
even fucking
site.
hesitate, bro. I always love that. He just basically opened a door, saw Hitler, and started shooting. You know what I'm saying? Like,
I mean, he has never seen Vader before. Just instantly, just said, "This, I must shoot." Well, no,
this guy's gotta.
He technically saw Vader one time, I guess. Maybe when he was running to the Falcon. And then Obi-Wan got sliced. Maybe he saw him there, but probably not.
Yeah. If not, he's heard about him plenty from Luke and Leia.
That's true. Look out for the guy in all black. He's very, very evil, very, very... You'll know him. You'll know him when you see him. But...
Well, now here we are with 35 minutes left in the movie.
Oh,
look at how fucking fast this thing flies, man. Like, we're culminating on Bespin, and I think that's one of the things that George Lucas might not have the keenest sense of, and I mean, like, this has been commented on various times throughout his career, is that Marcia Lucas, his ex-wife, saved his movies, essentially, because she knew how to fucking edit them. And George always had the idea that I need it faster, I need it more intense, but he didn't know how to edit it properly that way. He just shot scenes like that and then cut it together however he saw fit. This is proof that you can let things breathe, you can let them drag a little bit, you can take your time, but the way you edit it is what makes the pace, you know? Like, it's...
Come on, Chewie. On backwards, though. That's okay. You gotta give him I guess 3PO, man, no matter what, it's gonna go worse for him. It
goes bad for 3PO in this movie at every single turn. I mean, obviously his life got saved, which is good.
He did have to blow up first, however. Spontaneous, pretty out of nowhere as well, just boosh. But, yeah, that's...
the torture.
No. Where does that one tube go? You see that tube, or what is that? What, does that insert somewhere, or is that just rest on the...
Oh, I sure hope not. I sure hope not.
But... why the heck does he want Ezra? That's weird. But...
Like, he wants Ezra Bridger? Isn't he in a completely different galaxy right now?
Homie dipped out.
I love Vader when he gets sassy, man.
Because he knows.
Perhaps you think you are being treated unfairly.
Yeah, he knows. who's gonna talk back to him, you know? There's one person. He knows that there is a singular person that will talk back to him, and that is Palpatine. Well, Luke eventually, and I guess Leia would if confronted.
Leia gave him a little shit in the first one, you know?
But couldn't really do much. But man, would have been that's a what if I would love to see, is them both taking them down together, and maybe, I don't know, maybe in a safer manner where Luke and Leia, they're both Jedi. I don't know. Well, Leia doesn't really need... Maybe that's what makes Leia so awesome, is that she doesn't need it. But it's just... it's a nice what if to think about.
I appreciate that she is,
just
you know?
To think if they all could have been together in a true happy ending, and maybe Vader somehow makes it out.
They threw Leia back in that other outfit. They were like,
oh, damn.
Put this back on.
Dang. That's all right. But, yeah.
And what's even more fucked up right here is that they never even asked me any questions. You know, like, they just tortured his ass.
That sucks. That's...
They were not trying to gain a fucking thing.
That's brutal. Just torture.
Yeah, I can't blame Han for being pissed, you know. I can't wonder.
Yeah.
It makes sense. And I appreciate that Lando's like, no, don't beat him. I fully deserved that.
Yeah. We don't know what Han just went through, so I think one punch to the face.
Bro got tortured like a motherfucker.
Yeah.
Called for at the very least, you know. But yeah, I know I said I'd go with Billy D, but God, it's so hard to not go Carrie Fisher or Harrison Ford or Mark Hamill or, you know, anybody. Like, everybody's just performing at the top of their game, I feel like. Now, this is the actual best set piece in the entire saga.
Come on. I think this is where the shot probably comes from. It
has to.
I mean,
at least this room, one way or another.
And
I know it's where my shot comes from.
This is almost a scene. I mean, anything from now on is a scene potential. I feel like I'm going complete normie status, because I went trench run for my scene last time, and I haven't nailed down my scene, and it's I don't know. I'm just going complete normie. But this one was the next closest one. Is eventually what goes down in that room. But man, I don't know. I feel like I'm just going to be picking like the climaxes every time, but I'm trying not to. But it's what I love of the movie kind of too much. I don't know. It's the memories I have. It's as a kid. That's all I remember.
Like that's the shit right there. This is where my favorite scene starts, though.
Okay. Okay. Good. So does Getting Love.
This right here is my scene. I adore this sequence. I think that what Harrison Ford and Carrie Fisher do is top of the pops, baby. Like, this is too fucking good. The lighting is beautiful. This is my shot right there. Them looking at each other with the smoke and the orange glow and everything. Chewie fighting back, and just such strong character work through this whole thing. And I think that it's just the perfect definition of showing us who Han really is. You know, that, you know, he might have been possessing a certain aura, but this is him. You know, and Leia, throughout the whole movie, Han's been trying to goad her into saying something about how she feels. And when she finally does, I know people always talk about the I know a little bit as like man, is that really the response? But yeah, it is. You know, she's telling him because she feels like she's missed every opportunity to. And he's just letting her know, I know. You know, like, you never needed to say it. You know, and I think that's... it works so fucking well, and I just adore it.
Yeah, it's
and that the torturous roars from Chewie, it just works, man.
And how crude this carbonite, you know, freezing is. This the production, I don't know, the whole just manufacture. It seems so crude, and then Mando can just kind of do it in his ship, and he has like 3 slabs just of people chilling in his ship, but. It felt like they didn't know if Han was even going to make it out of this. They were like, yeah, this isn't really set up for humans, you know. We don't usually do this, and it's, I don't know, you kind of know. I mean, I guess we don't. He's gone, he's done. But like, it's he could be dead, like right now, which is we don't know.
Right.
And it's just what a moment.
Well, and the behind the scenes fact that Harrison Ford like always wanted to die. He just kept wanting to get killed off. So like they put him in here just in case he wouldn't sign a contract to come back for a third movie.
Good. A good workaround. I don't know, it made a great scene, and I'm glad you.
No, yeah, it did. Like they made it heavy hitting, and gosh, him frozen in carbonite. That's just like, that's a horrific image. Like this was probably, growing up, this probably was the scariest Star Wars movie. Now that I think about it, like I hated seeing Han like that.
It's all these fears that I will never encounter in my life, but they were instilled in me. I did not want to be on an ice planet and be attacked by a giant, I don't even know how tall, like 16 feet. No, that's probably a little bit too much for the, what is it, Wamba or Wampa. I knew, yeah, the B didn't sound right. Wampa. But in this, Darth Vader doesn't really help the nightmare fuel ever, and him just being so prominent.
No, he's a freaky looking motherfucker.
Yeah, it does not help.
Yeah, and that's the choices Carrie Fisher makes in these moments are why I almost go with her too. Like the way that whole time she's just staring at him in horror on the ground there. It's perfect, man.
Man, that's
probably the coolest prop of all time, right?
Ooh, that's a cool question. Coolest prop
in any movie. Is that the coolest prop ever?
Oh shit. Damn, that's a tough question.
I mean, just in terms of scale and importance and the likeness of Harrison Ford on it, and like all of that's like the only other stuff I can even think of would be
like a Batmobile,
other iconic stuff. Batmobiles would be pretty. Yeah, that's pretty fucking cool.
But that's just like that's just cool because it's a vehicle. I don't know, but like
that's a car. Like there's something cool about crafting something that wouldn't exist in any other context. You know what I'm saying? Like the Ark of the Covenant in Raiders. That's an iconic. That's an iconic prop. Some of the lightsabers, those are literal works of art. Like that's something fun to think about. Like a context to think about props in is that it's not just world building. They don't exist. Someone created it for this, and I think that's always really rich.
Man.
The way troopers stand when they fire is always so goofy. No wonder they miss.
Man, showing that though, like that shot, like just the how close the blaster fire got right to him. I don't know. I feel like that's not in a lot of other Star Wars movies. Like just showing the realness of it. I guess like just shit getting blown apart. But here we go.
Like even that, look at that lighting, dude. Like that's fucking gorgeous.
All according to plan.
Obviously, the shot is when Vader's standing at the top of the stairs. And I love the delivery. The Force is with you, young Skywalker. But you are not a Jedi yet. He almost like hisses it. It's fucking cold,
oh my God.
dude. It's so fucking cold. James Earl Jones is too... You know what? Fuck it. I'm going James Earl Jones in this one.
Yeah.
That's, the voice performance he puts on is goddamn good, man. Damn, bro.
Oh.
Sorry, my dog barked.
Man.
That shot right there.
God damn.
How do you not
That's the one.
do it?
That was the one that I was, I don't know. It's always been. That's always been the shot of the movie for me. And I think, I don't know, at least right now, I will go with it. There's one more potential that I'm waiting for, eventually, that I'm curious if it'll we'll get there or not. But I don't think so. I think that'll have to be the one.
See, and this is why I fuck with Lando. Ultimately being like, I'm going to figure out how to get us out of this. Lobot holding it down for him.
That dude. Man, that headset, I don't know. I feel like I don't know. Why don't we have any technology that is sort of like that? Like, why? I guess it just doesn't make sense. Why not just put it on the top of your head? You know, I guess why go back there? But it just, the fashion statement. I feel like we need something like a headphones that are just like that instead. But did Star Wars ever do that? Did they ever capitalize on making those toys? I guess I've never looked into that.
Those headset things? Yeah, I don't know.
Probably a Hasbro Lobot.
There's probably, their headphones or something, like you wrap it around the back of your head. Ooh. Yeah, that's pretty. That is pretty right there.
God dang. I mean...
And that is pretty.
Man,
that's pretty. It's just like the Bespin and the Cloud City's whole aura is just dripped the fuck out.
The question of coolest prop, Star Wars might just have like the top 10. Like straight up 1 through 10.
Yeah, I mean, because it is something to consider that all the ships are also actually
R2-D2 is a prop. I don't know, would you consider R2-D2 a prop? Like, he is a character, but...
That grows tough because he's a character and there's somebody inside
him.
Okay.
Okay.
Is Yoda
I always forget
a prop?
There's someone inside of him. Yeah, that's... Yoda would probably be closer to a prop than R2.
R2. Because R2's... I mean... Is R2 technically a costume? I don't think so, but like there's a person
like
in
3PO is more clearly a costume. That's
3PO's a costume. Yeah, so there is a line, that's true. But I love the way Vader's toying with Luke here. He's got one hand on the saber. He's not even it's light work for him. And I love the way Luke kind of proves himself in this situation. Ready to die, ready to get frozen in that fucking force leap up out of there.
Boy's got the hops. Yeah, that was
him just climbing up. That always kills me.
He was just training on Dagobah doing just this. All these flips and stuff. Look at it.
Learning exactly what it's coming to.
Coming in handy. Still one hand though. He's like,
you have controlled your fear. Yeah, seduction to the dark side has just grown to be something so interesting to me post-Acolyte. Because it's become a more real possibility to me. Like, there was something, when you're watching these movies, when you're a kid, Luke's not going to break bad. And we kind of take that for granted, We kind of, growing up, it was never even a possibility Luke would go dark, And now, thinking about the possibility existed. There was a chance he'd go dark. God damn. God damn. The movie just looks so good, bruh. Like, it blows my mind.
If we can do it, why not? We're in sci-fi. We're in it. This is the other shot. Yeah, I mean, I didn't even think of that one. It was this window. This is a very memorable window in my childhood.
Well, we were mentioning Rey's vision earlier. That hallway behind Luke pops up in that vision.
Yes, this is... Ooh, man, what an iconic room right here. Yeah, this is...
Yeah.
Man. This fight is just so good. I mean, it
is. I love the way Luke gets overwhelmed and Mark Hamill's performance of it. It's a tough sell. Mark has a lot of difficult work to do in this sequence. And what he manages with it is, all things considered, pretty impressive. Like this part right here is pretty fucking funny.
Yeah, he goes from being all agile and flipping up and, I don't know, climbing on cables to just looking like the most uncoordinated kind of guy.
And I love that stunt behind the scenes. You seen the video of the guy doing like a cartwheel into a backwards vault out the window? Like, that's fucking cool.
Man.
All for like a 2-second cut of him flying out. Like, that's so fucking cool. God, I love when Leia just kills a stormtrooper.
Blast him. Just dead on the floor.
This is definitely one of my favorite maps in Battlefront 2. It's cool watching them run through it because I feel like I know where they're going. I know where they are. You know?
Can visualize it so well. Like in...
I can. I've been there. I've been in there. As Leia, as Lando.
You've killed so many people in these hallways.
I've killed children in those hallways.
Really?
I'm assuming kids are.
Oh, okay. I thought in somehow in the game there were.
No, they don't let you kill kids.
I didn't think so, but
we got the Comtono for the first time during that sequence. One of the guys running around the corner had the Comtono in his hand, which is actually just an ice cream maker, which is pretty awesome.
Oh, that's right. Yeah, the good old. I don't know. Isn't that what Din gets his
payment for Beskar?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah,
just a good old.
From Werner Herzog.
The baby.
I want to see the baby. I feel like they upped their effects on blaster bolts hitting
the walls and the troopers. They're really like impacting. There's holes there.
It's like the ultimate version of squibs.
Yes. Ooh. Yeah, squib, but just a straight up, there's a hole there now. Not just blood coming out.
It's a literal explosion.
Boom.
A mini explosion on your chest. Oh. They're like, have the fire extinguisher on standby in case this guy catches on fire.
Like, yeah, look at that. That is crazy. That's an actual, like, fire going off right there.
Like,
boom! Yeah. Like, gee.
3PO being crumpled up is killing me. Oh.
Man, yeah, those squibs or whatever are going off there. That I never.
It's incredible practical effects work, man. Like that's the shit.
Am I a sucker for choosing this as my scene? Like.
No, it is the most iconic scene in the movie, and there is something to be said for the fact that it might be the best scene in the movie. Like I only didn't go with it because I have such a strong, like, Leia's my favorite Star Wars character of all time, and that's one of my favorite Leia scenes. It's one of my favorite Han scenes. So like, it just kind of had to be the case. But this is, I mean, when people think about The Empire Strikes Back, I've always said there are a few things people are almost born knowing now. And one of them is something people are not born knowing, which is who let the dogs out. Who. And the other one is that Darth Vader is Luke's dad.
Yeah.
Everybody fucking knows that.
Who let the dogs out? Wow, that was not what I was expecting. But you're right. No, it is just born knowledge. But man, yeah, Vader kind of getting a little humbled there a little bit, but then quickly had to had to sit him down.
Yeah, like he was like, all right, let's quit playing.
It's like, all right, you lose your hand now. And
obviously one of the best behind the scenes stories is that on set, the actor does not say, "Luke, I'm your father." It's that on set he says that Obi-Wan killed his father, and that it was revealed to everyone except George Lucas, James Earl Jones, and Luke Skywalker and Mark Hamill in that moment at the premiere that Vader said he was his father. Nobody knew that besides James Earl Jones, Mark Hamill, and George Lucas.
That's whenever you have something like
probably
that,
Lawrence Kasdan.
That's just that's cool. You're building up something that's so cool that like you want to keep that secretive. Like it feels like the Game of Thrones, like the selective few that know how it all ends, and
that's impossible. Yeah, dude.
It's too
I mean, there's some
good.
fucking beautiful shots during this too, man. Like Vader, there's a possibility Vader's never looked as good as he does in this room, you know? Like,
God, the reflections just off his helmet.
Don't know the power of the dark side. Yeah, he's just so fucking cold with it, man. And like, James Earl Jones is really putting on a fucking show during this sequence. I mean, like, look at that. What am I looking at there?
Yeah, what is that?
What am I looking at?
What is
there?
that?
You know what I'm saying? Like, how do you shoot that? What are you putting a camera on and showing me?
Is that a
moment?
painting?
And I love that Luke was like maybe. I can't tell. I love that Luke's like, I'd rather kill myself.
Yeah, he's like, no clue what's going to happen. Luckily, the
Lucky.
forces got me, and I went down the perfect slide. You know, I mean, could not have went in at a more perfect angle.
Bro was cold with it.
He's got the force on his side.
I love the headcanon that Maz Kanata is like crawling around one of these little things, like fixing something, and catches the saber, and that's just how she got it.
You think the hand came with it, or the hand like came apart?
Hand sold separately.
You think?
I'm guessing, you know, like I doubt it. Maybe it rigor mortis on the saber, you know, but I imagine it probably.
Yeah, it would just
the nerves separate.
That's true.
It lets go and it falls at separate directions. You know, it's actually canon that Luke's hand is on Exegol.
Oh, that's right. Yeah, and they use that's true.
According to the comics, they use it for sciences and such.
Just from Luke's hand alone is enough to create some beans, or I don't even know what it's used for.
God.
But Leia, oh man,
when he can't get to Ben, when he can't access it, calls to the only other person he knows how to. Like, that's just so fucking cool. Like, I love that that's the first place he goes after Ben.
Oh, and the shot of her too.
Dude, feeling it.
Oh my
hearing
God.
it. Oh God, I'm a sucker for it, man. It's giving me chills. It almost makes me fucking cry. I love them as brother and sister, man. And I wish we would have gotten more of them knowing that. You know what I'm saying? I wish we got more of their friendship and their kinship and them spending time together. I think that's one of my favorite things about Jedi is that you feel them be friends. You feel them be family. They just go through so much turmoil together in the first two movies that they don't really have time to settle and do things, you know. But there's a little bit of that preparing for battle together and Jedi and stuff, and it just works. But yeah, I love the ending of this movie. We end on sort of a demoralizing note with that information. You know, Vader is Luke's father, and you know we lost. He lost his hand, and it's not like the rebels are on the run. Nothing's going our way, but there's still this sense of hope. They have something to look forward to. Han's gone, but they're going to Tatooine. They're going to find him. They're going to confront Jabba. It just maintains that spirit that Star Wars is so good at maintaining.
That was a shot there too. Good, just coming up the elevator to come get Luke. Man, Luke, yeah, really just like, all right, finally I can let go. He's like, man, this is gonna hurt when I land on the Falcon, but god dang, like, yeah, I would. Ooh, homie's been through.
No worse than losing a hand.
Yeah, homie has been through it today.
Yeah, look at that, man. Like, shit.
Eesh, he's not looking good. No. Not looking good at all. But man. Yeah, definitely
Lando
not the happy ending.
Like
blowing up a Death Star, that you get
in the victory
big celebration.
Parade,
yeah, no,
you
this,
know.
But we got another movie coming that gives we got that coming, you know. We'll get another one of those. But man, the man, only with one little scar, and it was just to his like. I felt like it looked like his shoulder. Yeah, just a little boop. He'll get that scuffed out, no problem. Was that another kiss there? Was that I didn't. I don't know. It looked like a little.
Maybe a kiss on the forehead.
Smooch.
I think like a. if your people fix the hyperdrive. It's not fair. It's not my fault.
Yep. Nope.
The look that they give him kills me. They told me they fixed it. I trusted them. It's not my fault. I love Billy D, man. I love him. He is so fucking good. Oh, it just works. You know, one of my other scene contestants is this part when Vader and Luke commune through the Force. I think that's one of the cooler moments in their relationship and the forming of their conflict is just him showing, like, kind of displaying that they have a deeper connection than anybody. You know, they have this ability. At least as far as Vader is thinking. But Luke's just proven he can do that with Leia, which is also very cool, you know.
Man, that ship is just actually so dope. Now looking at it now.
Oh, it's so cool. Vader's dreadnought.
Man, Father.
Why didn't you tell me? Yeah, like, I can't blame him, you know? I'd be like, what the fuck, man? Couldn't tell me my dad was an evil motherfucker?
Yeah, that's... seems like big news.
So what I told you was true from a certain point of view. I love the way that's recontextualized in Obi-Wan Kenobi whenever he's like, you didn't kill Anakin Skywalker. I did. You know?
Man, I need to rewatch that show.
I do too, man. I need to give it another shake. Because I already really liked it, but I feel like I could really get behind it at this point. At least I hope so. Tractor beams are OP, man. I don't fuck with tractor beams.
Yeah, there's no equivalent of that because
that's just a cheat code, man. Like, what do you mean?
Damn. I mean, it's like a lasso. But in space and it's invisible and it's just, nope, we have you. But
I love Admiral Piet stepping up like, oh my god, I'm gonna fucking die. I'm gonna fucking die. Oh my god, I'm gonna fucking die.
Yeah.
Look at that. Look at the robes there when he pushes his cape back and he walks down the aisle. I think it just looks so fucking clean. Got to get back to the rebel cell. I appreciate that even after all of it, this whole scene really takes on a really hopeful sheen.
Yeah, it is a nice, relaxing breath of fresh air, finally. Like it is, we're not running anymore. We're not, I don't know, we're
just flying,
yeah, we're
man.
just
taking a
with
breather.
The good people.
We're going to go find Han, and we're going to do our thing, you know? And that's the other thing, too, that I think is cool, you know? I love whenever they set the mission aside temporarily to fix their family back up. You know, they're like, all right, our next mission is finding Han. You know, like, that is what we are going to do. This shot of Leia where she smiles here before long is always one of my favorite visuals of Carrie Fisher. Right there. She was so perfect. I love her with all my heart. But, man, wouldn't it be nifty to have prosthetics like this in real life, huh?
That looks pretty dang real.
But I love the practical effect that they've just got something fake over the top of his real arm.
Yeah.
Firing
Perfect.
like that. Like that's
perfect. Why not?
God, look at the way she's lit there. Like that's just
gorgeous.
That's just good looking, man. Yep, and we're gonna bring it to a close on one of the another one of those iconic shots. I absolutely fucking love the ending of this movie. Lando wearing Han's clothes, of course, because they were lovers. According to Billy D, which I tend to agree with.
Only explanation. Well, it is canon.
At some point, they explored each other's bodies.
It's canon. It is confirmed, and probably on the Wookiee. I don't know, by somewhere. If it's not just
Somewhere
Billy
there.
Bobby. Or Billy Bobby. Billy Bobby.
Billy Bobby.
Billy Bobby.
Billy Bobby.
Good old Billy Bobby. But
It's Billy Bobby Williams.
yeah. But oh man.
You know what's really awesome is that Billy D. Williams' full name is William December Williams.
December. Wow, that is not what I would have guessed the D was for at all. December. Wow.
It's Chandelier, baby. Chandelier.
Damn. There we are. We are another one. The peak in the books.
Damn.
Yeah, we've done it.
It's all downhill from here, buddy.
Man, no, it is how every shot was actually just on a different level. Like here, this was actually made differently. Like in.
No, I mean, it's an unbelievable movie, dude. Just one of those ones that's so... I don't know that any other movie I could honestly tell you since it is as good to me. You know what I'm saying? Like, it's... And I have a tough time removing my bias, but, like, there's also the fact that I feel like this is a pretty universally good movie. I have a tough time believing anyone would watch this and go, you know what, that was actually bad.
Yeah.
You know, I just don't buy that.
And there's really, I mean, anyone can really come into the movie and you don't have to know much about the mythology. Like it's pretty clear, like, good versus evil and stuff. Like, I don't think anyone's gonna be lost, and it's just, if you have that love for the mythology and you know all these little details, and even now that we're in the future knowing more about the mythology that they didn't even think of during this time, but it's still enhancing the movie, and it's just it's an incredible franchise. It's just unlike, at least I don't know, for me, it's the franchise that is always the one getting better and better, and I don't know if there's going to be another one like it, but man, yeah, I'm glad I've been able to watch it now under this, my new movie watching lens, and just now.
Right.
I don't know.
Feel like a bit of a better movie watcher than previously. Man. No, I get that. And yeah, it is. I think I'm excited for next week. I'm excited to rewatch Jedi. I feel like ever since I watched Empire and officially realized it's the best Star Wars movie, which was within a couple years, you know, within the last year or two. Jedi was always my favorite prior to that. And I imagine, like, I know I'll still love the events, but I wonder how much it will stick out back to back watching this movie and the next movie doing this, how much it's just not as good. I wonder if it will stick out, and I'm excited to find out. But yeah, I think we can safely call that 10s across the board, huh?
Yeah, no, I'm there. Yeah, the good old Letterboxd will get a 5-star, no problem. As pretty much I think every Star Wars movie is.
I got to log that. Yeah.
I don't know if I'll ever give any Star Wars movie not a 5-star, but this one actually deserves it fully. No doubt about it, and the 10 for the actual rating. Yes, I'm there. So, but man,
seems easy enough for me. I think that's where I'm at. Yeah, that shit. I can't believe how good that fucking movie is, man. But yeah, with that, I'll do the plugs real quick. If you would, head to Twitter, follow at Cinementalists, as it's spelt in the episode title there. That'll give you any updates on what we're about to be doing, what all we're doing in the future, what we might be doing week to week, other movie stuff. You can follow at Penny Bloom Pod, which is our main flagship show. We're having a lot of fun over there. We are also doing Fulcrum, a Star Wars podcast. That is the most important for those of you tuning into this. I know you fuck with Star Wars. We are rewatching Star Wars Rebels. You gotta go check it out. You gotta watch Star Wars Rebels with us. We are having a grand old time. We've put in quite a lot of work over there. You ought to catch up with us. But yeah, with that, I believe we will conclude this episode of The Cinementalists. Make sure you leave a 5-star rate and review wherever you might be listening. We would appreciate it greatly. Share us with one friend, you know? You got a Star Wars friend out there. I know you have a Star Wars friend. Everybody has a Star Wars friend. You know, even if you don't get it quite. You're like, I don't know. Show it. Show them this. Show them this. They'll appreciate it. Yeah. With that, we'll be back next week with the live commentary of Return of the Jedi to seal off the original trilogy. I was Colton Robertson. I was joined by Joseph George. Thank you very much, homie.
Oh, thank you for having me. It's always a pleasure to be here.
Oh, and it's always a pleasure to have you. And make sure you come back next week because there is another.